Hi, Andrew. I'm Michael I with Asian Feed. I first just wanted to congratulate you on an amazing film. And watching the film, I loved how it incorporated plot themes from Pride and Prejudice. Can you share a bit about how the idea for the film first came about?
Yeah, our star writer, executive producer, Joel Kim Booster, went to Fire Island for the first time. He went on a trip with Bo and Yang, and the book he grabbed off his shelf as his beach read was Pride and Prejudice. And when he was on Fire Island reading Pride and Prejudice, he realized that what was happening in Regency era society was happening to him, within the gay community on Fire Island. The ways that communities, draw class lines, the ways that people judge and assess each other, make assumptions. He felt that very strongly, and that planted the seed in his head that a gay adaptation of Pride and Prejudice set on Fire Island could be really fun and interesting. And cut to 2022, and here we have the movie.
Amazing. And the cast really brought the film to life. What was it like working with Bowen, Joel, Margaret, and the rest of the cast?
Yeah, for me, it's so special that this is a feature film on a platform like Hulu, that stars four queer Asian American actors. Joel Kim Booster, Bowen Yang, Margaret Cho, Conrad Amora. It's so meaningful, and to get to work with them, to show audiences and the industry the depth of talent that exists within our community. It's a real honor and a privilege. It was also just so much fun. It's a hilarious cast. Matt Rogers, Torian Miller, Tomas Matos, James Scully. It's a really a lovely group of people who were united by this common goal to tell this really special story. And so it's really cool. Like we're all very close still. Like we're all on a text chain together called Pantry Girls. It's just really cute and fun. And I love that, a film that celebrates chosen family, that we were able to create a chosen family in the process of making it.
Absolutely. And you mentioned chosen family, and I think part of what made the film so enjoyable was that it really felt like we were just seeing a group of friends hang out, rather than some sort of produced movie. So, as a director, did you almost just kind of step back and let the cast be themselves?
Yeah, we had a really wonderful script from Joel, and I definitely wanted to direct the screenplay and emphasize parts of it, and pull out themes and get great performances. But I did use a very light hand because it's a really talented cast, and I didn't want to get in the way of their chemistry together. I really wanted the film to feel organic, and for us as an audience to just enjoy their connections to each other. And so, I the environment, I take it very seriously as a director to create a space where people can feel vulnerable and, have fun and experiment and try different things. And then, kind of, yeah, took a step back and watch the magic happen.
Amazing. So, what would you say was your favorite scene from the movie to film and direct?
It's a good question. Um, my favorite scene to direct. I mean, I really loved working, with uh, Joel and Bowen, every time they had a scene together, the fact that they're real life friends, um, they're just that extra bit more like in tune and generous and lovely when they get to act together. Like you get a sense of their history, um, and I think it's just really cool to see. So I loved working with them. I loved the dance off scene with Conrad Amora. He's actually such a good dancer, so to make him be a bad dancer or at least like an awkward one was really fun. And we could not stop laughing on set. Like he's just so funny doing those moves. So I love that stuff. That was a really memorable day on set.
Awesome. And it, really sounds like that you guys had a really fun time filming. So are there any memorable behind the scenes stories or moments that you could share?
Yeah, I mean, I remember, uh, you know, the cast would we stayed together on the island for the last 2 weeks when we were shooting, and we were in this little bed and breakfast, and um, uh, like my room shared an air vent with Joel's room, and I could hear him watching Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and like giggling with some of the other cast. And Margaret Cho was gifting Tomas Matos a bustier to wear, and Tomas styled James, Matt, and Bowen in their clothes, to go out to dinner the night before we wrapped. It's like there was so much shenanigans, that it really felt like I was part of a family. They really feel like sisters.
Absolutely. And one of my favorite moments from the film was when Margaret's character was told that she had to suddenly throw a big dinner party. If you were throwing a last minute dinner party, what would you be serving?
I would probably do um I would do rice, because that's really easy, just to like make a giant thing of rice. And then like some sort of like Korean barbecue, like kalbi, bulgogi, like, just make a massive heap of meat for people to pick at. And then, like some salad stuff, panchan, the Korean side dishes.
Amazing. And as you know, last month was AAPI Heritage Month. And of course, this month we just kicked off Pride Month. And this film was really unique in that it spotlighted representation for both of those communities. How would you describe the impact and importance of seeing that representation on screen?
Yeah, I think it's important to see ourselves on screen, because I think it helps us come together. We have something that we can celebrate, we can talk about, we can engage with. And I think that builds strength within a community that then allows us to take the next step and express our strength, through voting, through protest, through donations, supporting mutual aid funds. All of these things need the support from a community that loves each other and loves ourselves. And so I see the value of representation, and hope that it builds that solidarity so that we can take that next step and put put our strength to work.
Amazing. And as a follow-up to that, what would you say was your experience with both Asian and LGBTQ community representation growing up? And what is it like to now see yourself in that representation?
Yeah, uh, I remember watching Ang Lee's The Wedding Banquet as a child, and it was so interesting. My mom rented the video from a video rental store because she said that, oh, this is that Asian movie that white people are watching. Like, let's see what it's about. And then didn't know that it was actually a queer story as well. And that was really wild for me to see. But it was a long time before I discovered more, queer Asian American cinema. I think I had to go to film school. I had to start going to film festivals to see that work. I remember going to Outfest, which is the queer film festival in Los Angeles, and I watched this film, No Regret, which is a gay Korean movie. And, I think I got it in bits and pieces, but it was always a little bit of a discovery. It never quite had the platform that I think a film like Fire Island has right now. And so I'm really excited that Fire Island, has this opportunity. I'm trying to do as much press as I can so I can talk to so many people because I want this to get out there, so that it can continue to inspire people, in the way that I was inspired by films like The Wedding Banquet or Alice Wu's Saving Face, and I hope that it reaches so many more people so that they can tell their versions of Fire Island, it's cool to see Fire Island as a part of this legacy and as a way to continue, the work that needs to be done.
Absolutely. And with on-screen representation also comes the responsibility of representing the community in a way that audiences can resonate and connect with. Was that something you thought about while directing?
It's definitely a part of the process. It's hard to not think about how your film is going to be received. But it also can lead to, what people in the community lovingly call rep sweats. It's like you're sweating because of that burden of representation that is placed on you or the film. I know that burden does exist on Fire Island. I'm not angry about it, but my hope is again that there are more movies that can share that burden. And so I'm really invested in helping other filmmakers tell their stories. And I think it's important for me as a filmmaker and for all artists to at some point stop worrying about the audiences and focus on your perspective and making the work great. And I think that's the only way that we can do something that feels like it's not pandering to an audience. So I had to kind of shut it off for a moment, so that I could focus on making the movie, and then, now engage in the conversation about the film, like, and talk about it. And, whether it's with supporters or detractors, like I'm very excited to talk about the movie.
Amazing. And besides Fire Island, of course, are there any films or TV shows that you're currently obsessed with?
Uh, It's a really good question. I have been watching that Showtime show, I Love That for You, with Jennifer Lewis, Vanessa Bayer, Molly Shannon. It stars one of our actors from Fire Island, Matt Rogers, and I think it's so great. I really, really love the show. Um, uh, on a plane ride, I watched this great film starring an Asian American actress, Patty Harrison, called Together Together, and I thought it was so good. Patty is such an amazing actress, and such a great advocate for the LGBTQ community. I'm trying to think. There's a couple of other things that I've been really enjoying. Um, Oh God, I'm thinking so much about this movie that I can't think about other things. I will say other things that I'm excited for. I'm excited to watch Joel Kim Booster's new comedy special that will be coming out on Netflix, and then also his Apple TV show that comes out at the end of the month, Loot, with Maya Rudolph. So it's a big month for Joel. I'm very excited to champion, his career.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time today, Andrew. It was an absolute pleasure. Congratulations again on a truly amazing film. I hope everyone sees it and enjoys it, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.
Thanks. Nice to meet you.